Okay, this is two N-channel power MOSFETs in parallel to try to fix the board, as one wasn't handling it. So I tried two in parallel, and that didn't work for too long either. So that's what this shows, how I soldered the pins together, getting it ready. Another shot. So these two are on top, and the cathode is on the bottom. So here shows two of them together, the thermal compound for heat transfer to the sink. Here it shows mounted with a heat sink clamp bracket holding it against the heat sink. This is the bridge rectifier, which is also heat sinked with the compound and the heat sink, aluminum heat sink. This is the board put back together and all plugged in. There's this showing the motor as well, and the power input. Okay, I'm going to show you the unpacking of the SCR motor control. Which I'm going to show you when installing it on the treadmill. I tried different things with that, trying to fix it, and there is issues with the board, so this will completely replace the control for the motor on the board, and it's not going to have anything else like the incline up and down or anything. Just going to have a control for the motor of the belt. Okay, so what this is, try to do this behind. But this is a SCR control, so it's for AC motors. Okay, so it has up and down control. Okay, and that's the controller. So it's good for 25 amps for less than $12. Okay, so this is gonna go over here, up, down, and has a display. I'm going to show you what that looks like as well. So this is, so it's a AC control, and the motor on the treadmill is DC, but at the output I'll show you. Okay, so one thing you have to keep in mind is, notice this heatsink, the metal, is covered with this plastic. Well, this needs to be removed because this will become hot and it will smell and might burn. So you might have to even take the screws off if you can't rip it completely off, and I think that's what I will do too, and remove this coating of the metal. Because this is plastic, this would melt. Alright. Okay. Let's see if I can do this. Take the screw off. One here, and there's another one here. I will mention that in a review. That's not supposed to ship like that. Okay, so just gonna peel all this off completely. So once the plastic is removed, the coating, then that's what it looks like. So you put the 2 screws back in, and then she's ready to go. So you get input and output, neutral, live. So this is AC we're talking. So we're going to be putting a 110 on the in, and AC out is going to go to a bridge rectifier and then to the motor. Might even put a electrical capacitor there to smoothen out some of the ripple. Okay, later. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to replace this board on this treadmill that has 2.5 horsepower DC motor on this treadmill. After having tried to replace it with this board, after obviously trying to fix this board itself a number of times and just didn't succeed. So this here is a motor controller for 90 volts, 15 amps, and that should have handled this motor since it draws 15 amps, 13, okay, but it doesn't. This control here is a triac based control, which is used for temperature control, speed control, light dimming and things like that, but only works in AC motors. This is a DC motor, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, replace that board, take it off, wire that in there, and then we're gonna add a bridge rectifier so that we control it to a DC voltage after it has been chopped or adjusted by the triac control. So I'm going to show you what we're going to be adding here. Okay, so we're going to be adding this here, okay, which is a here. Okay, shows a number, but it's about 15 amp bridge rectifier. There's another one here. This one is even heavier. This is probably 25. Okay, so we're gonna add this after we have converted the board to the motor control, which is a 2000 watt 20 amp board, which is plenty enough. So what's going to happen is there is terminals here. Okay, so we have input terminals where the AC voltage is going to come in from here on these two wires. Okay, so we're gonna put that in there, and then coming out on these two terminals, instead of going directly to the motor leads over here, we're gonna put this in between. In a nutshell. Okay, let's see if I can show this. So okay, let me show you. So there's plus here shown, so opposite from that, and here this is minus. Okay, and these are AC in. So I gotta put this down for a bit. Okay, so I'm gonna take the plus of the motor and the minus and plug it in. So here's what I did. I plug the plus into the plus and the minus, the neutral, the white on the minus terminal. Okay, so what we're going to do is going to remove these connectors and this here, this here is for the up and down adjustment. We're going to leave that off as well. All we want to do is make this motor turn the belt with a control, okay, which is going to be mounted on top, and just going to select up and down. Okay, so I'm going to remove that and remove the board and mount a new controller. Okay, so you have a Phillips screwdriver here. So I'm going to take these. Screws off, and take this one off completely. Just gonna loosen this other one. Okay, and just remove this. Okay, as you can see, this board has blown. So instead of trying to repair this again, we'll just completely remove it. Okay, so what we need to do is remove these screws. Remove the heatsink bracket. And then I'll reuse some of this, and this one here, it's holding the bridge rectifier. This bridge rectifier is, by the way, still good, but we're just taking the whole board out. Okay, so now I had to work with one hand here. I think I gotta come up with some kind of camera holder. So I just gotta pinch these and lift that up. Okay, that's two. Okay, so that's it. The whole board goes out. So now we just have a heatsink here, and we just need to mount this on there, There's a hole here. And let's see. I'm gonna just mount this. I want to put it in this way so that the heatsink here, as you see here, the ribs, is up because the heat goes up. But we can mount this, I suppose, even on the bottom. Then have a hole there for mounting. Or I might just make a new hole. So this mounts like this. So I like to mount it like that. And then have room for the bridge rectifier on here as well. Alright, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drill a hole and mount the... By the way, we're going to remove these plastic standoffs too, because you won't need them. That was just holding this old board on there. Alright. So here I decided just to use a screw and put it through this hole through here to hold this. Like so. So there's a screw from here holding that. Okay, now we're gonna mount this guy in here like so. Mount the screw right here. Okay, now we're gonna do wiring. So the AC in, these two, gonna go to AC out over here. Okay, and that's where the motor is going to go. Again, that's the plus and that's the minus for the DC motor. Okay, I had to remove the shroud, the shield, so that I can get at the terminals, and that's what's holding the whole board together as well. And I decided to put another hole in here to hold this down. So I'm going to drill into that. Alright, so... And I'm just putting a self-tapping screw in here. I'm gonna screw this in. Then I'm gonna take a break. My wife says the soup is ready. So I'm gonna go. So I'm just gonna tin the wires that we're gonna use here. Trying to do this everything while holding camera. Is obviously not ideal. So I'm going to solder these two wires to the bridge. the AC terminals. So I just cut off the ends from these wires, and they're gonna go right in here into the terminals, like so. So the wires for the DC motor are going right to the rectifier, plus minus. And then we're just going to plug in the control. So as I said, I added the capacitor here on the output from the bridge rectifier. So plus goes to plus and minus goes to minus. Okay, so the red and black wire here is coming from the output here, which is AC. Okay, and this here is a triac that adjusts the pulse width modulation of the power, and thus adjusting the voltage. Okay, and again the input wires go here from the switch, and then this I tend this end, and also this end here, and that's my control board that I showed before. Okay, so I'm gonna power it all up. I'm gonna connect that wire to this wire up on top, so just gotta find some wires from the existing wires, and then we're good to go. Then I'll just connect them up and we'll give it another try. Okay. Okay, connected this back up, the motor and the power in, and I connected the wiring for the control, speed control, on this end, and also up top over here. Okay, now I'm just gonna insulate that with tape and connect it up to the board. Okay, so it's connected down there, and it's connected up here. I already put the cover on. So here we go. Plug it in, turn it on.